What's up, everybody? The reset just happened. Were you aware of it? Did you see it coming? I didn't. All of a sudden, it ended up happening. If you could do me a favor, real quick, like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Let us know that we're doing a good job. Let me know that you like this type of content, and it really kicks off the algorithm, and I really appreciate it. So, what just happened is just reset the system. And when I mean reset the system, I mean to the point where relationships are being made in the background. What is going on right now is exponential. And we're going to tie this into crypto in a little bit. But before that, we need to lay a little groundwork. And the groundwork being is the United States of America and the dollar has been losing its power, and basically the dollar has lost a lot of its value over time. That's why you see grocery prices extremely high. Basically, what used to buy $100 worth of groceries, because of 97% of deflation of the dollar, now you only have 3% of that purchasing power left. That's why things have costed more over time. So, yeah, that is the reflection of what is going on. And what has happened is a deal has been made, and you are seeing multiple countries come together to support the United States in the largest deal, I believe, that has ever happened, $3 trillion worth. And this all happened within a few days. This was Trump visiting Saudi Arabia and securing a $600 billion deal on AI, defense, and energy. It was the largest defense sales agreement and an AI hub. Qatar was a $1.2 trillion agreement with aviation, energy, and defense. There was Boeing orders. I don't remember how much of that was part of it. I think later on down it talks about it. I've got some side notes here as well. But this is a massive deal. You have to realize the shift. Saudi Arabia has been a 92-year-old partner to the United States of America, and that was based on oil contracts, right? And so you had a US based oil system, right? Basically, the dollar was being backed by the so-called oil, right? And so everything was running on the US dollar. And now there's a shift that is happening. And it's interesting because Trump lifted the sanctions on Syria as well here recently. And this was after talking to the Prince of Saudi Arabia and also calling Erdogan, I believe I might be pronouncing his name correctly, the president of Turkey, Aragon or Erdogan. He called President Trump, I guess. And so the conversation was had between the Saudi Arabian, is it the king or the prince, and Trump, and also the president of Qatar. And the sanctions have been lifted. You have to realize that President Bashar al-Assad, who had a lot of pressure on him to leave as the president of Syria, he ended up fleeing to Russia. And so that happened in December of 2024. There's now a new person that has come into power that Trump is going to lift the sanctions to allow them to allow their economy to flourish, because they've been under sanctions for quite a while. So this is a giant deal in AI, defense, energy, and you have to realize this drove the stock market up. That's why you've seen the last few days, you had these giant pumps. You had 16%, I believe was General Electric. I think it was over 16% for Boeing. There were some that were 12%, some was 4%, but it was giant. Basically, all the gains of the S&P 500 that have been lost, we gained them back, which is absolutely crucial to have an up and a bull run in the market, correct? So all of this is absolutely fantastic news, and it really shows you that this deal in the Middle East is only one part of what's going on. You also have to realize that India and Pakistan were at war, and there was a lot of people that were being killed, and they were threatening each other with possible nuclear. So Trump diffused that situation, from what I understand and what I'm reading in the headlines, and they created a peace deal, and they are honoring that as of now. I'm not sure how long that will last, but they are not fighting each other right now. No one is being killed, so I think those are all wins for everyone. But I think that this deal is absolutely exponential, because the amount of money, you're talking $3 trillion that is being dedicated into investment into the United States. I mean, this is orders for Boeing jets, it's AI, it's defense, it's energy. I mean, yes, they're talking about peace deals, right? But then we are giving $142 billion, or $180 billion, if I remember correctly, in aviation, fighter jets, infrastructure, all that other stuff. So there's definitely a weapons package being delivered through this deal to Saudi Arabia. But that's pretty typical on most of these things. You'll see on the back end, most deals made between countries and whatever usually ends up an inclusion of different military hardware, ends up getting transferred one way or another. So that just seems to be the deal. It seems like every single country that I've studied that does these kinds of deals, they do have this exchange, right? Exchange for money, but we're going to give you defense, we're going to give you whatever. And defense includes, right, a lot of different things. So, what is going to happen? I think this is an answer to the BRICS nation. If you look at Brazil, Russia, India, and China, right? They came together as a unit and were working outside of the SWIFT system, outside of the U.S. dollar, because they didn't want to be sanctioned. Because of the United States sanctioning all kinds of different countries, a lot of them have stepped away from the SWIFT system and they created their own infrastructure. If you're into blockchain technology, which we are on this channel, you would know that that is called mBridge. If you didn't know, then that would be something you should know, that the BRICS nations are now running what is called mBridge. And mBridge is their digital, I would say, ledger. We'll call it the digital ledger. And this ledger is the blockchain that runs between their different countries. And they do have a token. And these tokens can actually be converted for gold. So the new monetary system that the BRICS nations are now going to be operating by is going to be a basket. It's a basket of commodities. It's gold, and then a small amount of it is, I think, is some sort of what called cash commodities. But I believe 40% of it is gold, and then 40% is commodities, 20% is the cash. So if you look at that, that's wild. You're talking about backing actual currency, right? Or in this case, digital currency, but you can exchange it for gold. And so it is convertible to gold, and gold back into tokens. And I think that is pretty fascinating as well. So don't be surprised if we end up having a similar system that is backed by gold and backed by commodities and other things. And I do believe that some of these cryptocurrencies could possibly be in that basket. So, will they be used only for payment rails? It's possible. But there's also other things that could back them, commodities, gold. So, that will be really interesting to see that all play out. I think that the reflection of this is the stock market is going to grow. And yes, we are going to have waves. We're going to have corrections. We're going to have ups and downs. Don't be surprised if there's another shakeout. Do realize that XRP has been held down for 4 years, and still we thought that we had a settlement completely done because the fines had been discussed. Ripple and the SEC came together, and Judge Torres denied it. She denied the settlement that the SEC and Ripple had discussed and agreed to, because it was outside of what she had ruled earlier. So as of now, it's back to the $150 million fine, and we'll see what happens on that. It sounds like there is discussion in the background between the parties. So who knows? You might see something come out Monday. It's very possible. You got to realize that there's a power struggle going on. There's communication or miscommunication, right, from a lot of different people. Not everyone is a great communicator. So there's all these different people involved, a lot of emotion, I'm sure. 4 years of a lawsuit, and the new SEC people are trying to like fill in from what was in the past and now what's in front of them. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of puzzle pieces. So you guys have to realize that we also need to realize that there's a little bit of a process here too. If you realize that the new SEC people just stepped into a pile of junk that the old SEC people left, and now they have to like sift through all this crazy paperwork and all this documentation and then come to the conclusion of yeah, now we're making a deal with Ripple, and there's all this backstory and backlog and other things too. So do be patient with the process, and you will be rewarded. I believe that there's going to be a massive, massive up this year, as well as another shakeout. So expect that massive, massive up. And I believe some of you that are on YouTube that follow me probably have heard some rumblings from some other people on YouTube about price points of XRP and XLM and Dreams and other things. And I find that highly fascinating because there's a lot of people that have been having these dreams about XRP and XLM price points, and multiple people saying the same price point. And I think that's really fascinating. And I'm thinking about doing a video on it because I have my own little puzzle pieces I actually would like to tie together. I don't want to get too off topic with this channel. We talk about cryptocurrencies specifically. We talk about news, what's actually going on, what's driving the markets, where the market is actually going, how we can save by creating an LLC in different places. You can check out my other video on that. Yeah, this channel is specifically has been geared towards that and towards business people and business owners or entrepreneurs that want to come into the business space and own their own business and have freedom that they've never dreamed of because they've worked for someone else for way too long. And I'm telling you, if you do not own your own business, I highly encourage you to step out in faith and start your own gig. If you have something that God has put inside of you, it's a vision, it's there for a reason. You should follow it. I'm telling you, like, there's something that if it's really calling you, yeah, you should just answer the calling and step out in faith and do it. 100%. Because I have faith in you that you can do it. And honestly, if your mouth speaks it, you believe it, and you go after it, you can attain it. And that is 100%. So type 100% in the comments down below. You can 100% attain it. You think it, you believe it, you go after it, you can attain it 100%. Put it in the comments. It's awesome. I love that. I love that one. All right. I think I rambled enough on here. My time is up. I'm out. I will catch you guys in another video. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for checking out my channel. I'm looking forward to the crypto journey that we all have together. I'm telling you, ride the waves as this thing is going up and down. If you want to step in and out of positions, there's going to be opportunities here. I'm telling you, other people have seen them. I am seeing them. And I do believe that we're going to have some corrections. So wait for those massive dips. Buy when no one else is buying and the fear is the highest. And then hold and sell towards the top. Don't be greedy. Ask God what you should do. He will answer you. He will give you the keys you're looking for if you spend time with Him. So I highly encourage you, say a prayer today. Step into the Word. Take a minute to listen. And you will find an answer you're looking for. God bless you all. I'm Justin with Wealth Building Strategies. Take care.